Good morning, afternoon, or evening. How you all doing today? Welcome back to Mr. Morrow's math class. Today we are talking about comparing, adding, and subtracting decimals. Okay, the good news is very simple and very similar to adding and comparing and subtracting whole numbers. The only difference is now we have decimal values. So when we're comparing decimals, just like when we compare whole numbers, or in the future we're going to be comparing fractions as well. When comparing the values of any set of numbers, okay, any set, whole numbers, rationals, integers, natural numbers, any set of numbers, you must use inequality signs, okay? Less than. This is my less than symbol. It means is less than. Notice that I put the word is in front of it. Is lets you know that there is an equality, okay? Is means equals. You guys are taking algebra as well. Is means equals. When I say is less than, that means that I have the less than symbol. Okay, let me show you the difference here because a lot of people get confused. If I say a number less than 5. I don't know if you guys have done this yet in your algebra, but do you see the word is? No. So what this is going to translate to is 5 minus a number x. When you just see the word less than, it means that you're switching the last part for the first part, and it's a subtraction, okay? That's when it just says less than. However, if I were to tell you a number is less than 5, then it would be a number, we could call that number x, is less than 5. That's the inequality sign. So the is should be really important here, okay? The is what makes this an inequality. So that is less than. My next symbol. This guy here, I have a less than sign and a line underneath it. That means is less than or equal to. Okay? Is less than or equal to. When I reverse it, and I have this guy right here, this symbol is greater than. Is greater than. Remember back in elementary, the alligator eats the big number, okay? That's how you can tell. And then when I have the greater than symbol with a line underneath it, that means is greater than or equal to. Is greater than or equal to. So we have less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And the common part here, always, you're looking for the word is. That is going to let you know, hey, I'm using inequalities, not subtraction. You have to have that is less than, is greater than, is less than or equal to, is greater than or equal to. If you do not have the is, gentlemen, then it is not an inequality, and then we're just talking about subtraction or addition. Does that make sense, gentlemen? Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, when comparing decimal numbers, simply compare, please pay attention to this. Please, each place value one by one until you find your answer. Don't just look at the numbers and shoot a random guess. Do not do that, please. You're going to compare each place value one by one until you find your answer. Once you know the answer, use the inequality signs to express your answer. What are the inequality signs again? Less than or equal to, greater than, good man, or greater than or equal to. Excellent, gentlemen. Good job. So let's do this, my brothers. Let's compare each of the following numbers. I've got 1.23 and 1.0955845. A lot of people, if they just look at the numbers, think that since there are more numbers here, that's going to be larger, but they're wrong. You have to compare each place value one by one. So I have a 1 in the ones place and a 1 in the ones place. So far they're equal. But now I have a 2 in the tens place and a 0. I can stop immediately. Isn't a 2 in the tens place greater than a 0 in the tens place? So 1.23 is greater than 1.09. The alligator is eating the larger number, and in this case, that's the larger number. Does that make sense, gentlemen? Awesome. Okay, I got 1.9494 and 1.99. I've got a 1 in the ones place and a 1 in the ones place. A 9 in the tens place and a 9 in the tens place. So far they're equal. Then I have a 4 in the hundreds place and a 9 in the hundreds place. So immediately I can stop. Who's larger? 1.9949. Very good. So 1.9494 is less than 1.9949. Or you could say 1.9949 is greater than 1.9494. And actually, you should be able to say it the right way, which is 1 and 9,494 10,000ths is less than 1 and 9,949 10,000ths. Tomorrow when we review our homework, I'm going to ask you to read them correctly. So please, if you have any questions on that, please let me know, always. Okay, how about for C? What do we got here? Go ahead, my man. No, read it the right way. Look, I'll help you. Tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. What's this number normally? 2,325. And what's the last place value? 10,000s. Good job. So 2,325 10,000s is greater than, take your time, tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions. So that's my last place value, my man. So what is this number normally? No, not 2,000. No, not 200. No, come on, man. Think about this. What is this number right here, guys? 23,541 10 millions. Very good. Very good. Now, why? Why did he get that answer? Well, if you check place value by place value, 0 in the tenths, 0 in the tenths. 2 in the hundreds, 0 in the hundreds. That's it. I can stop right here. And I know that 2,325 tenths, hundreds, thousands, no, this is 100,000s. 2,325 100,000s is greater than 23,541 10 millions. Good job. How about letter D? Which would be greater here or less than here? Yes, sir.
12 and 300.
No. Let's think about this. Tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. What is this number? Forget about the decimal. What is that number?
35,200.
35,225 100,000s. Okay. Is less than, good job, 12 and 35,226, no, 100,000s, guys. Guys, You're going to have to practice, okay? This is part of decimals. If you don't know how to read decimals, it's very difficult to do the rest. Again, this is tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s. 100,000s is where I leave off. That's my last value. So this is 12 and 35,226 hundred thousandths. Thank you, my brother. Does anyone have any questions on how to read decimals still? Because I want to help you. Yes, sir.
So when it has such a big number, it's hard to read without the comma.
Okay, that's a great point. My boy just finished saying sometimes you don't have the commas. Okay, well, put the commas. You have to have 1, 2, 3 numbers, comma. If that makes your life easier, right? So this is 12 and 35,225 hundred thousandths is less than 12 and 35,226 hundred thousandths. 12 and 35,226 hundred thousandths. Does that make sense, guys? Okay. Let me wait for this announcement to be over. Okay. Thank you. Does that make sense, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone else have any questions on reading decimal values?
No, sir.
It's going to be on your quiz. It's going to be on your test, my brothers.
Got that.
Okay, you got it. Thank you for your honesty, gentlemen. Now, adding and subtracting decimal numbers. Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy. In order to add or subtract decimals, simply line up all of the decimal points. Literally. And then add or subtract as normal. But you've got to add by putting the decimal points together. They've got to be in the same spot. So, I always like to put the larger number on top. 12.035 plus 5.321. Does that make sense? Okay, give me 1 second, guys. All right. Sorry about that. Okay. So this here, I've got 5 plus 1 is 6. 3 plus 2 is 5. 3 decimal 17. Okay? Does that make sense? All right. Number 2, I've got 23 and tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. 2,546 10,000s minus 2,564 100,000s. So 0.0254. Please remember to line up the decimals. If you don't line up the decimals, you're going to get them wrong. So 6 minus 4 is 2. I cannot take 6 from 4, so I must borrow from that 5, making that a 4, making this a 14. 14 minus 6 is 8. I cannot take 5 from 4, so I borrow 1 from the 2 here, making this a 14. 14 minus 5 is 9. I cannot take 2 from 1, so I must borrow 1 from the 0, making it a 9, making this one an 11. 11 minus 2 is 9. 9 minus 0 is 9. But since I borrow from a 0, I must borrow from this 3. So I have a 2 and a 2. Because these spots here are nothing, so I could put 0 there. Does that make sense, gentlemen?
Yes.
This is very important that you got this. Especially the borrowing. You with me here, my brothers?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen. Let's continue. Okay. Next. Let's go ahead and subtract these. I've got to line up my decimals. So I've got a decimal, and be neat here. Make sure that you line up not only the decimals, but all of the place values correctly. Now, in this case, what do I do with this blank space here?
Put zeros.
Very good, sir. You got to put zeros. Fantastic. Thank you, my brother. So now, I cannot take 4 from 0, so I must borrow 1 from this. 0, making that a 9, and I make this a 10. So that's 6. 9 minus 2 is 7. But I borrowed from a 0, so I must borrow from this next number again. 9 minus 5 is 4. But I borrowed from a 0, so I must borrow from this 4, making it a 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. Do I have to borrow again? Guys, do I have to borrow again? No, because 3 minus 3, I did not need to borrow for that. 6 minus 2 is 4. 5 minus 1 is 4. 2 minus 0 is 2. 3 minus 0 is 3. And then I have a decimal and my 12, because these two values are zeros as well. Okay? Now, this is a giant number, but let me show you how to read this. 1, 2, 3, comma, 1, 2, 3, comma, just for reading purposes. So this is the tenths. Hold on, tenths, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. So how would I read this, my man? Yes, sir. You read this number the right way. Okay, 12 and uh-huh. Uh-huh. Beautiful job, son. What my boy just said was 12 and 32,440,476 hundred millions. Fantastic, sir. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. Okay, let's add these two bad boys together. Make sure that you're nice and neat. Okay? That you line up all of the values correctly. Line up your decimals as well. Very important, gentlemen. There's zeros here. You're adding. So 7, 5, 4. 5 plus 4 is 9. 4 plus 6 is 10. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. 1 plus 2 is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. And 1. Does that make sense, gentlemen? Promise?
Yes.
Okay. Do you need a few minutes or may I continue? Everyone is good? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Let's continue then. I've got here, let's remember to just line up the decimals and line up the numbers in the correct place value. If you can do that neatly, you've got nothing to sweat. This is super easy then. So I got 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 0 is 3. 2 plus 5 is 7. 2 plus 3 is 5. 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 plus 0 is 3. Who wants to take a shot at reading this number? You already went, my brother. How about you, my man? 32 and
25,735.
Tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s. Very good. This is 32 and 25,735 hundred thousands. The comma doesn't belong there. I just put that there to help you guys recognize the number. Thank you so much. Great job. Next, let's see what I got here. Line up the decimals. That's the key here. And be neat where you line up all the other numbers. You want them to be in the same place value. It's all about being neat here. So I've got 1. 5 plus 6 is 11, so I carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. 3 plus 2 is 5. There's my decimal. 0 plus 5 is 5. 2 plus 9 is 11. Carry the 1. Who could read this one? All right, my man. Yes, sir.
215.
Uh-huh.
5,800. 110. Wait.
Come on, man. You're messing it up.
10,000.
Good job. 215 and 5,811 ten thousandths. Great job, my brother. Very proud of you. Great job. Great job. Nice. Okay, so then I've got here plus, line up those decimals, line up those numbers neatly. If you don't do that, this can get very sloppy and you could mess up. 6 plus 9 is 15, so I carry the 1. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 1 is 6. 2 plus 3 is 5, 0 plus 0 is 0. Drop down that decimal because it's lined up. 7 plus 2 is 9. 1 plus 1 is 2. Okay. Who wants to take a shot at this? Yes, sir.
29
Uh-huh.
and 565,000.
Nope, 10 thousandths. But good try, my man. This is 29 and 565 ten thousandths. Remember, guys, help yourselves. Tenths, hundredths, thousands, 10 thousandths. Great try, son. Thank you so much for caring. Okay, I've got 32 and 2,545 ten thousandths minus 12 and 25 ten thousandths. Hold on. Let's do 0 for my good man. 5, 2, 0, 2. All right, hold on. Let's give someone else a chance. Yes, sir.
20 and 2,520 ten thousandths.
Very good. 20 and 2,520 ten thousandths. Beautiful, son. Fantastic. And bada bing, bada boom, guys. Thank you very much. I hope you learned a lot and have a wonderful day.